And you're here at the Program and Events Roundtable. It's been a while since we had one, and just glad that you're here with us. Got a lot of things to talk about today and want to get to it all, so I'm going to start right up. We're still letting people in. But as we looked at the registration list on our Zoom account, we noticed that there were some new names there. And so I wanted to know, first of all, we're being recorded. This is Zoom, so you have the opportunity to speak, and we hope you will whenever you do. But remember, you got to unmute yourself before you do. Second thing is, seeing your smiling faces always helps the discussion. So if you can, please, turn that camera on, let everybody see you, and that always helps our discussions. So any new folks here, you want to step up and introduce yourself?
I'll go. I'm new. I started in June. I am Leah Aducci-Getty. I'm the program coordinator with Upper Gwinnett Township. I work directly under Sarah Priebus.
Great. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you.
I'm also new. My name's Deanna. I started in July, and I'm in Washington, PA, and I'm running the city park here.
I'm Joe Miller. I'm a consultant with Upper Darby Township, working on parks and trying to get some programming up and running.
I just saw there was a message in the chat box. If you're still a little hesitant about coming on, or for some reason you can't, go ahead and leave a message in the chat box. The chat box will also be at the end of this. Excuse me, I'll just back up here. I'm so excited. At the end of this session, we'll send out the recording to everybody, but we'll also send out the chat box. So that's a good place to put information, links, things like that. And go ahead, everybody, and just go ahead and enter your email in that chat box, and we'll get that out to you also. And I can see we got 27 participants. Another good thing to do with that chat box, if you have an issue that you really want to discuss, you go ahead and put that in there. So Nikki gave me a good idea for an opening here. She calls it brag box, and I'm okay with that. So I'd like everybody, if you want, share something that was your most successful program this past year and what you're looking forward to in 2022. I can't believe it's 2022 already. But go ahead. Anyone want to start? Your most successful program in 2021 and what you're looking forward to in 2022. And right now at the top of my screen is Doug. Doug, can I get you to start?
Sure. So I had a whopping 7 programs last year. So I just started here at the township in April with Susquehanna Township. So we're in total rebuild right now. So but we did get a couple programs running. Our most successful program was our Mat Pilates program. But I have something like 54 program sessions planned for this spring already. And our summer, that includes our summer playground and summer day camp. So, but I'm most looking forward to is I have a program coordinator starting on February 16th. So that will be even better, so we can get some more stuff moving.
Thanks.
So I'm really here just to steal ideas.
All right. Well, anybody else want to chime in? Brag a little bit?
I'm Sarah Priebus. I'm with Upper Gwinnett Township. I'm the Park and Rec Director. I found last year all of our special events were astronomically attended. I mean, we had so many people attend our special events. So I'm kind of curious as to what people think we should plan for this year. I mean, do I double plan again, get extra stuff, or do we just kind of think it'll go back to normal? So just curious. Our biggest event is our carnival. It's a 4-day event that we run. We're also revamping a new event this year. It's called Unity for Kindness, and it's a kind of a diversity event, getting to spread kindness through Upper Gwynedd. So this year they want to bring in food trucks. So this will be our first food truck event. So that's what's happening in Upper Gwynedd.
Have you run Unity for Kindness before, and what's that like?
We did it last year. Our Board of Commissioners came to me with this idea 3 weeks before they wanted to run it. So it was kind of thrown together. We had maybe 100 attendees for it. It was really, really neat. We had a bunch of groups come in. We had some speakers. We had some Korean drummers, things like that. So it was about an hour. This year they want to run it 4 hours, and we're going to do diverse food trucks with it, we're hoping. We're going to get a band that hopefully will draw some crowd, a diverse band that will draw a crowd. We're going to get African drummers this year. I reached out to them. So, we'll see. It's just, again, it's spreading kindness and diversity through Upper Gwynedd because we are a very diverse township.
Great. Thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
Anybody else want to add a highlight?
Just to jump in on what Sarah said, we also in Upper St. Clair here in Western Pennsylvania, we saw our events kind of go off the charts in terms of numbers. Some of our best attended events we've seen in a couple of years. Obviously, there was a pandemic that prevented bigger attendance before that. But even in some of our prior numbers, we're seeing our pre-pandemic numbers, and we've even exceeded that in certain areas. So it's really interesting. I think it shows that the demand for parks and people coming together in a park and open green space is something that's highly sought after. And same thing, I think we found that we're also a community center, and a lot of people that have been joining, they're either working from home or their lifestyles change. So this is the place where they come to get that social interaction. We even have, just today, we have a couple people out at our lobby, our new lobby area, because we put some fitness equipment down there, but they just come and work here. They do some of their meetings here, just to kind of be out and about. So it's just a fascinating trend we're seeing too, and it hopefully will continue.
We saw the exact opposite effect last year. We saw all attendance at all of our events be down. And I thought it was because people were being very cautious. I don't know if anyone else saw that trend as well, but we tried a new event, a community celebration. We tried our regular events that we've always do, and our numbers were down a little bit last year.
We do a quick poll here on camera. You have that reaction button on the right side of your screen. If your events went up, go ahead and click the thumbs up button like I did there in front of my PRPS. Let's see how many. All right, keep them up for a minute. It seems like the majority experienced an increase. Anybody else want to speak to the increase that they saw?
So my situation's a little different. I'm in Washington, PA. The city did not have a park director for about 20 years. And so I'm coming back in, and I don't have anything to compare it to, but I will tell you, we brought our Dark in the Park back. I was a participant as a kid. And when I tell you the community showed up, I mean, we couldn't handle it. That I'd never expected. And it was raining. So I'm going to say there's a surplus for us. Like, the people are coming, but I think it's because they haven't had the opportunity in the past couple years. They just kind of let the park sizzle out, and they had a councilman over it instead of someone that was here every day. So while I don't have anything necessarily to compare that to, I have seen our engagement is up regardless. People are here every day with their dogs, but the events that I have had so far have been very well attended.
That's great. Are you? Go ahead, Karen.
So I'm Karen Schreiber with Muhlenberg Township Park and Rec, which is just west of Reading, Pennsylvania. So last year, I would say that our concert series that we had in the summertime was super. It's, of course, outdoors, which made it very inviting for people to come. And we passed the jug around and collected money. And actually, after the 4 concerts that we have, it's every other Friday night. We actually had enough to pay for our bands and all of our expenses for that program. that has never happened in the 20 years that I've been here with Muhlenberg Township. So that was exciting. Just people wanting to listen to music outdoors, you know, was super for them. So yeah, and we look forward to doing it again in 2022.
That sounds great, Karen. Thank you for adding that. Becky is added in the chat box. Exeter Township, we're in a, similar to Doug in Susquehanna, rebuilding. A few special events last year in the summer playground, planning a full year of programs for 2022, starting with the Easter egg scramble. I've never heard it called a scramble before. That's great. We plan to expand our program offerings across different age groups and adding in new programs not offered in the area before. That's great. He's on low tech video, so to say. Okay. For those of you who had an off year last year, do you want to chime in and you know, maybe describe and give a few reasons? Or okay. All right. Maybe we don't want to talk about that, but which is fine. We can move forward. Anybody else want to share their success, something to brag about last year, and what they're looking forward to next year?
Hi, this is Dawn Householder from Limerick Township, and Ashley also from Limerick Township. We couldn't figure out how to put the thumbs up on there a few minutes ago, but our biggest thing we did this year is our flag football program. We ran a spring league and a summer league, and for our spring league, we had 229 kids. And then we also had our fall league with 201 kids. So that was one of the things that ran really well for us this year. And we're looking forward to all the new, hopefully COVID will start going away a little bit, and we'll be able to have a lot more people at our events.
Thank you, Dawn.
Hi, so I'm new to Pennsylvania again. I was previously in Parks and Rec in Virginia. So this experience of mine might be a little different, but because I'm new as of November, so very new here. In my successes last year, in my previous position, was involving our local businesses into my events. Seemed to bring in a huge crowd, having them be part of our, Halloween events, and they're the ones that are distributing the candy at the parks, and kind of making it a whole township event was kind of my most success, was bringing in their support and then supporting them in return.
Thank you, and welcome. Glad to have you on board. We do run these roundtables. We started this in 2020 during the first outbreak of COVID-1, I guess. And we found that they were very successful for us as far as planning for the future and making the needed adjustments, and also just a way to talk to each other and share stories and concerns. So we've continued these free roundtables, and we hope to this quarterly. And I know Nikki also asked me to do a quick poll on whether we think this should continue quarterly, and we'll do the whole same thing with the thumbs up. Bottom right corner of your screen, give a thumbs up if you want to continue this on a quarterly basis. Oh, I see it, Dawn. I see it. Okay, we're good. All right, that's a strong yay. Another thing I'd like to talk about is, of course, what you guys are interested in. So I'm going to, kind of shut myself up a little bit and let you guys bring together or pull out some things that you want to talk about, some trainings, maybe any questions you have for the group. I mean, you got a great collection of other program and event people. It'd be kind of neat to find out what we're doing and share stories and ask questions. So anyone have a specific question or something they want to share?
There is a question in the chat box asking about what people are going to be doing for this coming Easter. Just seeing if they're going back to traditional Easter egg hunts or what the thoughts are on that coming up, because that is turning around soon.
Go on that. Easter, everybody.
And don't be shy. Remember, Doug said he's here to steal program ideas. So you got to start sharing them so we can all take from each other and just do better in our communities. So don't be shy.
So here at Spring Township, we're doing an Easter bunny hop through. We have shut back down due to COVID in this area, but we did a Santa drive-through for Christmas, which was a huge turnout. So we're going to do the same thing and have somebody dress up as an Easter bunny. I just got a new costume last week, and hand out goodie bags based on, you know, different age groups, and have people register. We kind of decided to do the whole registration thing to get a better number for to look back on, and also just in case there were to be an outbreak of any sort, to notify everybody that, you know, somebody was, had COVID or anything like that. So that's what we're doing. They had great success with this last year, and then I was here for the Santa, and it was a great turnout. If anybody has anything similar, I'd love to hear. Or Doug, if you need suggestions, please feel free to ask, because we had like 2-hour window for the Santa event, which was way too big of a window. So I can tell you right now, a drive-through needs to just be an hour for people, or you'll be standing out in the cold forever. So
yeah, we're planning on doing, I'm partnering with one of our high school alumni association, and we're doing a full-blown live, we're calling it Candy Scramble, basically egg hunt. So it's the first one that the township or the alumni association is doing. So we have the school facilities to use, the football field. So yeah, we're going full blown with it, like a normal one, unless things change.
We here in Muhlenberg are going to do our traditional Easter scavenger hunt, where they actually kind of register, get a clue card, work their way around the park. At each station, they do a little carnival games to get their eggs. So it's not a scramble per se. It's a little less chaotic, which I like much better than just throwing out all the eggs and blowing a whistle and all the eggs get sucked up in 2 minutes or less. So it's a little more to plan, but I just think it's and a lot of parents have said they like it a lot better than the egg scramble type thing. But we plan on doing ours as usual, unless some health concern really pops up for us. And I'm sorry about no video. I have no idea why, so I'm going to say it's user error. So thanks.
Does anyone do non-traditional as far as, I know locally they do a flashlight egg hunt for teenagers. I know when I worked with the Parks Department, we did glow in the dark eggs. So we actually purchased, I don't recommend them, but glow in the dark eggs. Does anyone do anything like that for older kids? Does anybody do anything with seniors or an adult version of an egg hunt?
Actually, here in Muhlenberg, we have done an adult egg hunt a couple of years. We actually use leftover eggs from the children's egg hunts since they're not usually all gone, and then we package a few additional with adult oriented items. And I'm not saying bad items, but more related to adults. By that I mean coupons for McDonald's, or something a little better than just eggs or candy and eggs kind of thing for adults. And you'll be really surprised. I think the last year we did it, which was 2019, we had probably 100 adults come on out to grab up eggs. So it was pretty cool.
In a previous location, I've done both. I've done the adult and the senior. The adult we actually charged for. The kids were all free and the seniors were free. But the reason we charged for the adults is we typically had a large prize, in one of the eggs. 1 year was $100 in cash. 1 year it was like a nice Bluetooth speaker. So we did a couple of those types of things, and that we would get like 60 plus adults involved with that. And then we did a few senior egg hunts, and we would put in various gift cards and stuff like that within the eggs for them to get. And it was still candy as well. And they were extremely inventive. They brought their little grabbers that they used to get stuff off the higher shelves, so they didn't have to bend over and pick up the eggs. So, and that when we were getting 15 or so each year, we did that. So they were both successful pretty much with the entire event overall.
Let's see, Ashley adds, we do a flashlight scavenger hunt. So each kid gets same amount of product, but debated a hop along trail. Anyone done a trail walk or a hunt? She asks.
So I know we focused a bit on like spring holiday events, but what other late spring, early summer kind of activities are you doing? I've seen really unique nature-based programs. So are there any new programs that may be specific to your department or your area that you want to share? Or if you want to start something, but you need resources, this is the best way to get those resources. I'm going to pick on Doug again, just because we all know that we still programs, but sometimes we might be wanting to do a program, but think we're limited for the area we're located in. But the people on this call, they're the people who can help you out. So if there's any questions you have about upcoming programs or ideas you have, ask away, because these panels are the best way to find that information.
We've kind of been hitting theme type activities. So we do a launch now for like each season. And we just did one for Winter Week is actually partially this week and partially next week. But we have all of our departments within our community center involved. So like our aquatics department, I know Chris is on the call. We're going to do a penguin plunge. So we put a bunch of inflatable penguins in the pool and we just dress it up for winter. Our group exercise classes are actually, some of them are going outside, so which are traditionally indoor classes. It's kind of like a polar plunge concept, but it's an outdoor group X class, and it's convenient. We have snow now, so hopefully that will go well. And then we also theme that into our enrichment and preschool activities. So like a lot of we'll do like one-off. We partner with Mad Science, so they're going to do a dry ice capade. So we've really been trying to hit some thematic programming, because we're finding that the one-off programs where they're not committed for 5 or 6 weeks, but they just come for one night of programming or 1 or 2 nights, and then the next month we have another theme. So that seems to be going really well versus our old traditional everything was launched at one time for 6 months of programs. We're finding that this targeted approach has been working. And one other thing I was going to say, we did a selfies with Santa event that went really well. And what we're doing is we've done a lot of these where we're asking people to register and they're coming in a slot. So, we're taking so many people in each slot, and we found that that's increased enrollment and commitment. More people that register, they often tend to show up. And people really seem to like that individualized time slot, whether they're comfortable or not comfortable with any type of restrictions. I think they also feel that when they're there, they have a very specific time where they know that they're the ones that are going to get served. And for an event like that, it's meeting with Santa. So those things have gone very well for us. The kind of booking a time slot has worked.
Gotten any pushback on that from like people who don't get in, or didn't see the notice or something like that?
We are starting to run into a problem where we're over. A lot of our program demand is so high that things fill in the first couple days. But people generally understand that, and we take a lot of people. So even it's I rather the person know that we wouldn't be able to adequately serve them because there would be too many people there, and then to just invite them to one of our next events. But yeah, we have, I mean, granted, there are certainly, you know, limits to how many people we can take, but generally people like knowing they have a spot. So although we are running into that, the flip side is people know they have a spot. They don't have to worry about getting in line and pushing their way in. They know that they're, you know, part of the program. So.
And one thing that we do to help with that is channel everyone to our website with all that information that is detailed on our website. And then they go to our registration page, directly to our registration page. So that message is out there. Any internal post that we have talks about the limited spots. So they get bombarded constantly that it is a limited spot. So very seldomly do people get caught off guard, but we still have people show up for the event. But like Tyler said, we do have a bunch of openings, so we can usually squeeze them in.
Well, we've been doing in Lower Southampton with that. The wait list is pretty good for our website. So if they're like, we're booked on Saturday for our princess party that we're doing here. And we have like, I think it's 6 or 7 on the wait list right now. So I told them, you know, you'll get the update as soon as we start the next date. You guys will know when first serve, and you guys can jump right on that. They seem to like that idea.
Can you talk a little bit about the princess party?
Yeah, so we're gonna do, so I'm new, I got here in May of last year. And so we've really had no Parks and Rec here before I got here. It was just summer camp in the pool. So we're adding programs, and this Saturday we're doing one where the company who has the actresses come in dressed up as Anna or Elsa or whatever Disney princess. They're not Disney, they're you know, the winter princesses. It's like an hour, and each kid can come in, they can do face painting and their hair done, and they do arts and crafts and games and songs with them. And we're charging like $10 a kid just so we can make that money back from the company. And it sold out pretty quick. And so we're going to do another one again in March. We'll wind up. We'll probably get 2 new princesses in. It's a way to open up our new community center that we started. And it's pretty popular. It sold out very quickly.
This is a company that comes in and does it?
Yeah, there's a vendor, and my daughter went to a birthday party, and they were dressed up, so I just got the idea to do it. So there's a vendor that does it we're right outside Philadelphia, and they have all these different princesses, and figure we take a chance on it.
Put the name in the chat just in case people are curious.
Yeah, sure, I can get that.
And Tyler, you mentioned something that was dry ice capades. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so we partnered with Mad Science for that program, but they essentially just do a bunch of different activities with dry ice and how it's made. They look at like the chemical process, which seems very advanced, but then, you know, they really make it kid friendly, and kids seem to really enjoy our programs with them. So yeah, Mad Science has been a very good partner to us. We've filled every single program we run with them pretty much within the first day it comes out. So you know, we've had some good success with them. I can definitely put the link to their info in the chat too. I don't know where they are in terms of Eastern Pennsylvania, their presence, but I do know, you know, they have a presence here in Western Pennsylvania, and a couple other park agencies around us use them. So I definitely can put that info out.
Yeah, this is the stuff Doug needs, you know, to get his programs going. So anyone else have, we started the day talking about unique programs or what you're looking forward to. Let's keep going on that round. How about for Valentine's Day coming up? Anything for that?
So we did we have a guy who has a flower shop here in the township, and I worked with him in the fall. He's going to do a class in the week before Valentine's Day, and it's an adult class. They come in, learn how to make a rose bouquet, and we figured it'd be a good either date night or just, you know, the guys can get their wives or something to might go out and do that. And we've gotten pretty good responses for that so far.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So unfortunately, we have shut down our entire administration building all of January and February. Where I previously was, I was fortunate enough to have facilities and, you know, centers, parks and rec centers. Here in Spring Township, we don't have a designated Parks and Rec center for any indoor completely kind of program. So I'd love to get some feedback on ideas for outside programs that don't require being in a center, because that's kind of all I've got here.
So we're in the same boat. We have no inside areas for our kiddos. We do, however, have a log cabin on site, and it's small, but our little program coordinator lady works out of it. So they can go in and get warm. They can put a fire in there. So they do have that resource, but most of her programming is happening outside in the snow. The kids dress appropriately. All of that programming is free though. People aren't paying to come out and be cold. And then they also are doing yoga at our main pavilion in the cold. I mean, these ladies are dedicated, but we don't have too much going on. We did a sled riding day one day and just offered free hot chocolate, and at 4 o'clock, meet us at the Stone Pavilion type of thing. But other than that, winter's tough for us too, because we don't have a designated indoor area. So right now we're doing a lot of prep work, grant writing, and fundraising ideas. Like we're planning a cash bash to raise money for our fireworks, stuff like that.
You probably already thought of this, but way back when I was running a one-person department, I would reach out to the local schools and use their facilities for different activities, and they were free.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm just not sure we are permitted to have anything inside based on our restriction in this township building as well.
Right. I'm
So
sorry.
I'm looking for kind of, we already have a bunch of nature programs. We have a nature programmer who is, you know, offers free outside. She has snowshoeing. She's doing winter astronomy, which is, people can't sign up enough for that one. So if anyone's looking for one that is an easy sign up, the astronomy is, I get a call every day and have wait list for next year's astronomy classes. So, but I'm struggling with how to, other than doing stuff over Zoom and virtually, how to get more creative outside just with what we're working with here.
Hi, I'm Chris from West Reading. I know that we have an event coming up in May, which we used to do a father-daughter dance or mother-son dance. And instead we decided to do a family fun night. So we're gonna have a dance that the parents could dance, your kids could go to a different room.
Yeah, I got on here, Ashley. You doing all right in there?
Yep. And also had gotten a different room to go do games and all. So that way then the parents can have fun, the kids can have fun. If the kids want to dance, they could do so. We were going to do this outside at our pavilion, but I did get a building at the Scottish Rite Cathedral who donated their facility to us to have this event for our program.
Outdoor activities.
So we actually started the Walk with the Doc program back in September that DCNR was promoting, and we actually became a chapter. And I ended up partnering with Dauphin County Parks and Rec and Pembroke Borough, which is actually the borough is totally surrounded by our township. And we actually had like 34, 38 people show up this past Sunday for a walk, and it was like 20 something degrees outside. So I mean, something simple like that, and you don't, I mean, Walk with the Doc is a trademark, but you could do something similar if you have trails in your parks or a trail system, even if it's a simple out and back. We just kind of loop through a parking lot because all the trails right now are covered in snow and ice. And we have another one scheduled for February, I believe it's February 5th.
I'm just going to mention, because Walk with the Dog came up, and I'm going to do a shameless plug. PRPS has an annual conference coming up March 29th through April 1st, and we will have a session on Walk with the Dog with Sherry Matter and some other individuals from DCNR. So if you're interested, you can go to prpsconferenceandexpo.org to learn more about the annual conference.
Thank you, Nikki. That was a shameless plug. Thank you.
Just doing my job. Just doing my job.
Okay, winter activities. Anything else? We've covered Valentine's Day. We've covered late winter with Easter. We've talked about everything from stargazing to aerobics outdoors. Any other programs that we're doing this winter that you want to share? Any other questions about it?
I have a couple programs that I would like to share. I work with West Hanover Parks and Rec, and we do a Golden Oldies dance. We didn't do it last year because of the pandemic, but we did find that the seniors really enjoyed this. So we did a Christmas dance, and we have another one scheduled here in March. Very successful. Just have a DJ, provide a couple snacks. And the one we had at Christmas time, we did have a bartender. So there was alcohol presented at that, and they really enjoyed that event. We also do a all-day scrapbooking event because we are in a community center, and we do have rentals that we, large halls that we rent out. We do an all-day scrapbooking, which is 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. and all meals are provided. We generally get about 25 to 30 people that attend that, and roughly charge $50 for the day with all their meals provided and prizes, raffles that they do throughout the day. Trying to think of a couple other events that have been successful that we had throughout the winter. We did do I'm trying to think of a couple that we had. We did do the Santa run and had a Yule log ceremony that we combined with our historical society, and we do cookies with Santa and the Yule log and the tree lighting ceremony outside. We also do a fall festival, which we hold in November, and we do pumpkin carving, hay rides. We get s'mores and have an open campfire and live music at that. And our fire company joins in on that with us to host that event. We do summer movies in the park, and they're all connected to local companies. When we have the movie kind of geared towards that. For example, we had a movie about dogs, and we had Susquehanna Dogs training come in, and they provided a little information about what they do, and the kids got to socialize with the dogs. We did a movie about fires, and we had our fire company come over, and the kids could get on the fire equipment and check that all out. So we generally do 5 movies in the park. I know you have another roundtable coming up. I'm interested. We did a half-day summer program. It was the highest numbers that we've ever had. And but we're looking at going to a full-day summer program. So I'm interested in hearing more information about that. And I think you have something coming up on the 31st. So I'll be joining in on that.
Great. Thank you, Jeanette. And thanks for the list of all that you do there. I'm sure we got a lot of good ideas. I wanted to also chime in on the animals, the dogs. I saw Deanna had her dog there saying hello. But we've had several presentations by people who do support animals, and that's always been highly successful, especially in assisted living communities, to bring that out and teach people about whether it's horses or dogs or how these service animals work, behave, and they're always popular. From my days in an environmental education center, I can tell you we did a Yule log ceremony every year. That's a sort of a real nice way. You hide the log somewhere and people have to go out and find it. And it makes for quite the day, and you end up with cookies in a fireplace and you put the Yule log in. It's a really nice ceremony. We also did tracking, and bird watching is actually not bad in the winter because there's a different set of birds that come down. And so those are types of things. And also survival skills means a little more when you're out there in the snow trying to build a shelter. So as far as from the environmental ed side of things, those were some of the programs that we used to offer in the winter. One of the other questions that we had for you is any kind of, obviously PRPS, we're a membership organization. We work hard to make sure that you guys are, get the research, the information, and the training you need. One of the questions that we always have is what kinds of trainings would you like to get? And then, that's always good information for us and we can start working on that. So I'd like to open it up as if you guys are interested in learning about something specific or anything from event planning to whatever, we can help you out, but we'd love to hear from you what you're thinking about. Somebody else already put in grant writing. Okay. That's usually number one.
Just going to say that grant writing tips and things, that would be great.
All right, so that's 2 already for grant writing. Thumbs? Yeah, Deanna, I saw that. All right.
And if you could also share, oh, sorry, Dan.
Well, senior programs just came up too on the chat. Yeah, you can share them in the chat or you can speak aloud.
I was also going to mention, do you prefer virtual? Do you prefer in person or on demand where they would be available whenever you want to watch them?
Personally, the virtual or on demand seems to be an easier thing, based on travel, depending on where it's happening. For me, we're a very small, I'm the only employee out here besides my 2 maintenance guys. So for me to go away is a little tough until I have a full staff going. So this is actually great because I can be at work and still participate and learn from everybody.
So I am going to ask you to go ahead and put it in the chat box what your preferences are or what your interests are, but also virtual, in person, or on demand. Or you can list all 3 of them if you like them all.
Again, this is where I say don't be shy. We are planning full day events that will be geared more towards programming and events, summer camp as well. We're really trying to make sure that we're giving you what you need. So the more ideas you have for us, the better we can serve you.
Hey, it's Sarah from Upper Gwinnett again. We just, D3 over in Eastern Pennsylvania, we just put on a training about childhood anxiety. We had some issues this year. Ken, I think you were there, weren't you, for that training? Yeah, we've had some issues this year at camp with children misbehaving, and it was just really tough for my employees. So we had this amazing speaker. I don't know if it's something that, anyone else wants to participate in, but it was dynamite. She told us, how to deal with these kids. And I think we're going to try to get her for our camp staff to work on that. So just an idea.
Sarah, would you be willing to share the instructor's details with us?
Nikki, I'll send it over to you if
Thank
that's
you.
okay.
Yep.
And then because I haven't touched base with her to see if she, she's located here in Horsham. So I don't know if she'd be willing. I mean, maybe virtually she'd be willing to do it to.
Yep, that's what I
D2
was
or
thinking.
D3. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'll share it with you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you've had a presenter that's really done a nice job for you, we need to, that's great for us to know too. It helps us. Mike Riccio had someone do something on diffusing situations. And so we had her come and do it for PRPS in general. And it was a great presentation. So. Great. I see some all the above, virtual on demand, all the above, senior programs, all the above, grant writing, senior programs. Oh, and there was another idea that came out. A lot of you are either single person departments as far as on the programming end. And a thought came out is maybe we should be having a roundtable just for people with very small departments because you share similar types of issues. I have thumbs on that one. Any thumbs on that one? And Deanne, I know your thumb is up. Yeah, we have several thumbs. All right, look for that one in the future also. We'll be doing that one again.
Can I make a recommendation for some training or at least information that PRPS could provide?
Absolutely.
So, we do have a variety of professionals in this organization. Some of us, like myself, Tyler, Chris, we're at Upper St. Clair. We have a lot of people to bounce ideas off of, a lot of people to work together. Other departments, like you just mentioned, are solo or 2 people shows. Something that I think might help either end of the spectrum would be introducing people to services out there that could help them with communication, with marketing, with getting their programs out to the community a little more efficiently and effectively. So for example, we are now using Canva for everything, almost everything we do. And it's wonderful and it is free. You can buy a paid subscription if you want, but it is such an easy tool to learn and it makes the information you're putting out there look much more professional. We also use Constant Contact now, and that has significantly improved our communications with our members, with our residents. So things like that you almost have to sort of stumble upon and find. I think if PRPS was able to find a few either sales reps from those types of organizations, or just provide some kind of even general listing of resources out there, that might really benefit some of these smaller departments as well as some of the bigger departments.
What was the first one you mentioned, Melissa?
Canva, which is design. That you use
Canva. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Thank you. And I do think we have a webinar coming up. The date hasn't been set yet, but someone will be going over Communication and Marketing 101, I think is basically a working title of the webinar. So I'm sure she's going to mention those services, but I think having a page or a hard copy of that also would be helpful for our members.
And we did have a storytelling one that included some of that information. And I wonder if we can do an encore presentation of that, because I think that had some good information of getting your story out. And it did touch on, and I was only in a secondary hearing of that. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I know they touched on some of those. So we can reach out to that presenter to see if we can do another presentation with that.
Great ideas. Thank you, guys. These are great ideas. Anything else?
Real quick, Dan, one thing I think too, I know this was kind of done pre-COVID at some point as well, but just like the whole lunch and learn concept of just, bring your lunch and, even like doing some of those in person, I, as I'm a younger professional, I've only been in the field for, I think, 4 years now, but knowing, some other people that just are in my immediate community around me. And I know we have the D1, D2, D3, but I think really getting those pumped back up in a way so, we have the chance of I'd love to meet some of the other departments that are just to my south, just to my north, and having those types of engagements, I think, would be pretty beneficial. And if we came for a purpose, like a training, or just to bounce ideas, like kind of like this forum. But some of those, whether they be in person or on Zoom, I think those would be pretty beneficial too. Just a suggestion.
Oh no, I think it's great, Tyler. Really. And I'll tell you
Can I
what,
throw a
guys.
question out there then, Tyler, in a sense? Is that something as a service from PRPS, or is that something that would be an add-on that would be worth value?
I mean, I think if there was a cost associated to like getting a speaker, then you would have, some nominal fee that would help, be self-sustain the event or program. But if it's not, if it's more of just, somebody internally within PRPS, like even somebody volunteers. So for example, if they came to Upper St. Clair and we hosted, and we were one of the speakers, and then if we went to, I don't know if Paul was on the call, but South Fayette's right next to us. So if we went there, that type of thing, because it's always good to see what other departments are doing around us. I mean, we have, like I said, South Fayette, I could probably throw a rock and I'm in South Fayette, but I don't, we don't meet with each other a lot or things. Now, granted, part of that is we're completely different departments. We have a 10-person full-time team. We're just a bigger department, and some around us aren't, they're a little bit smaller. So, but I think those things are beneficial for both young professionals and continuing professionals that have been in the field for a while. At least on my account, I think it'd be beneficial.
It's great. And we'll be reaching out to Upper St. Clair to make that happen.
And don't throw rocks, okay?
Hey, I am
only
I
at
am more
Dan.
than happy to help with that on our end here. I know
Awesome.
He would be.
Awesome. Dan, I did see a question in the chat box. I'm going to let you answer it. Christine asked, since being new, are there any certificates? Oh, you would think it's Monday. Any certifications that are really needed? And I thought since you run our CPRP with me class, you could talk about certifications.
Well, most of that is when in the park and recreation field, that is the certification of choice. It's given out by the National Rec and Park Association. You have to qualify to even take, it's an exam-based certification, but you have to qualify to take the exam by experience and/or degree in the park and rec field. And it just tells folks that you are a professional in the field, you know what you're doing. It comes with that kind of cachet to it. And of course, PRPS is here to help you earn that certification. While we can't make up the experience part for you, we can certainly help you pass the exam. Prior to being a park and rec person, I was a head of a school, and I have a master's degree in education, and I taught middle school kids. So if I could teach them, getting you guys to pass the exam is really easy. And so we do offer that course either once or twice a year. But it's a good transferable certification that lets people know that you are a professional and you belong in Parks and Rec, and Parks and Rec is an important area for all of us.
And Dan, what is the success rate of people who have done the CPRP and have taken the test?
As far as I know, it's been 100%. But we may have one that did not. I have to talk with her later. So I don't know if she didn't take the test or if she took it and did not pass. But as far as I know, it's 100%.
Hey, we'll call that a 99.9% then, Dan. That's a good one. That's a good success.
Thank you, Tyler. Yeah,
and is it true, Dan, that you will give a drink to each person that takes the course and passes the test?
I have made that promise. At the next PRPS conference, I will buy everyone who passed that test a beverage of their choice. And I'm already up to like 30 beverages. So because we have not had an in-person conference. So I'm going to be broke.
He needs to get a new credit card just for drinks for CPRP with me class.
But we are going to have fun. That's all that is to it. So, all right, enough about that. I see the time is 10:55, and I know I want to be mindful of everybody's time. We usually make these last about an hour. Again, they will be quarterly based on the thumbs, but I do want to give you the opportunity to get a last word, a last question in. Before we end it, I want to make sure that your concerns have been met and you have voiced them. Crickets. All right. All right. Again, thank you everybody for your participation today. It was really helpful. I really appreciate it that I don't have to do all the talking and that good things come out, because, you know, after about 5 minutes, I have nothing left to talk about, and, you know, it just goes downhill from there. So thank you all for that. And for all the new folks, welcome. We hope you stick with us. We hope you decide to join PRPS. Please go to our website, www.prps.org. But since you're already here, you probably know that already.
And Dan,
otherwise,
can I jump in?
Yes,
can I jump in with a couple of things? Correct me if I'm wrong from the PRPS staff, but if people do sign up for the annual conference in the next 6 days, there is a discount. Is that correct?
Yes, the early registration, the early bird fee, there is a discount right now. It's for a full conference. It's $385. That includes your meals, your education sessions, and socials. And it's at the Kalahari Lodge in Pocono Manor, PA. Great facility. There's site visits around the actual resort, plus the aquatic center. We have a lot of great sessions. Yes, discount for sure.
So take advantage in the next 6 days. And for those who are new members, one of my roles is chair of the membership committee. We will be having a session, look for information. It'll be a mini session at the exhibit hall opening where you can get to meet the members of the membership committee, and we'll have some strategies how to best take advantage of the session, best take advantage of your membership in PRPS, networking, so forth. It's going to be short, only 10 or 15 minutes. But just a brief introductory session in the exhibit hall opening. Look for info for new members.
thank you, Ken and Nikki, for those plugs. So I'm mindful of the time. It's 10:58. I'm going to say, unless there's anything else, I'm going to let people go, get back to work. Please stay warm, stay safe, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.